Gentiles must be circumcised before they can fellowship with the Jews.
What's going on with Christians?
The grace of God extended to anyone who believes.
Who is this website? Who's writing this?
This is Biblical Answers.
Where is he getting the authority from to say that it was a mixed church?
I ain't going to do that.
Exactly. So what I'm saying is, where's the evidence to say that there were both Jews and Gentiles in this church?
I don't know if you just referenced it.
Yeah, so it's irrelevant. So this is the point.
It's irrelevant.
It is irrelevant because if you haven't got the proof, then what? If I've got a website...
What do you want me to get? What authority do you accept?
The scriptures.
But the scriptures, no. There's things outside...
I've showed you in the scriptures.
No, you haven't.
I have.
Okay, show me who was living in Galatia.
I've showed you...
No, show me.
So this is my point. It's right into a church, or right into the churches.
Show me where no Jews were living in Galatia.
Okay, read 4:8 again.
You claim there was no Jews in Galatia.
Read 4:8 again.
You claim there's no Jews living in Galatia.
Let's read 4:8 again.
Okay, you claim there's no Jews living in Galatia.
Okay. I'm saying this letter is written to a Gentile audience.
Okay. My brother?
No, let's not finish.
I can't do it with you.
Okay.
I can't do it with
Let
you.
me put...
I'm giving you a Christian source, giving you a historical
website.
explanation.
Okay, so where's the evidence? That's not a historical source.
What would you expect as evidence? What would you expect? What will you accept?
If you could show me...
Show you what?
From the actual letter that's written to Jews, then I would accept that.
Right, so if in the letter it doesn't give you the demographics of Galatia, are you saying...
I've shown you from the letter itself...
One second. Listen to my question,
okay,
please.
Go on.
So you're saying to me, because we can't find the demographics of Galatia in the Gospels or in the letters of Paul, that means there's no other sources?
Okay. So I'm telling you, the letter itself...
No, that's not my question.
Let me explain.
That's not my question.
Let me respond.
No.
Take it back. So...
No, we don't take mics. We don't take mics. We don't take mics. Which part of don't take mics don't you not getting? It doesn't matter. We don't take mics.
Maybe after Hamza, when he's finished, then...
Thank you. Just learn, we don't take mics.
It's mostly Hamza.
Say again?
So.
What's the problem?
Because I say I don't take mics.
No, I put it on him.
Doesn't matter. Because I don't want your sketchy video going up wrecking my masterpiece. That's why. That's it. Yeah?
No, I'll leave it.
That's it. You're like a pirate video compared to the original, and people ruin the original by watching the pirate. So please, no mics.
I'm gonna take your mic if you take my
Doesn't
mic.
matter. No mics, mate. Just respect the speakers, yeah?
I'll come back there.
Next time I'll take your mic.
Say it again. Sorry.
If you take my mic, okay, I'll take your
I can't hear you. Sorry. Say it again.
I'll remove your mic if you remove your mic from the other person next time.
Try it. Try it.
Don't be sidetracked.
No, try and remove my mic.
Don't be sidetracked.
Say again, sorry.
No, bro, don't be sidetracked.
No,
Don't worry, bro, don't be sidetracked.
I'm not going to say that.
Leave it.
So that's the thing. So do you want
Bro, come on. Don't get sidetracked.
No, I'm not getting sidetracked. Please well learn.
I
You've got to
agree.
respect people. People say don't do it. Don't keep doing it when we say don't do it. I'm sick of it. And then threatening. You know what he said? What did he say? He goes, if you remove my mic again, I'm going to remove your mic. Really?
I removed the mic, not you anyway.
If he touches my mic, I'm going to smash his face.
I'm going to be honest, I'm going to do a video of that.
Oh, smash his face. It's mental.
I removed it anyway, you didn't. I removed it.
Move what?
I removed his mic. So
No, but he
he shouldn't be upset with you, he should be upset with me.
No, but I've stopped him 3 times doing it to different people. He puts it on next to people and gets them to stand next to me. It's proper sneaky, snidey tactics. I'll explain why. We've got 3 cameras here. When we do a video, we make it like EastEnders. So when you speak cameras on you, when I speak cameras on me, sometimes the camera of everybody, the mics are banging, the sound is perfect. What these guys do, they film whatever they can, however they can. They bang it up tonight, and it just ruins the whole experience. The idea is supposed to learn from this stuff.
Naz, come back.
Sorry, Nazim, I didn't mean to drag you into it.
Okay. No, 1 second. Can we just read this again? 4:8 again. 4:8 and 9. Read it out loud.
But then, indeed, when you do not know God,
So
you
listen.
serve those.
If this is talking to Jews, how can it say this? Go on, say it again.
But then, indeed, when you do not know God, you serve those which by nature are not gods. But now, after you have known God, or rather are known by God, how is it that you turn again to the weak and beggarly elements to which you desire again?
Okay, so what I'm saying is making the context, you talking to the churches, did not know God, but served things that were not God. So it's not talking to Jews. That's my point.
Okay.
Do you get my point?
I'll say it again. No.
Do you get my point?
I do, yeah.
Okay.
The point being made is that Paul is saying even Jews don't need to do this anymore.
Okay. No. Look, he just said something. Jews don't need to keep circumcised. Read Romans 3:1.
No.
Oh, yeah.
No, because I'm going to prove what you're saying is not true. Read Romans 3:1. No, read Romans 3:1.
You keep, you know, it's really
Because
annoying.
I'm telling you what you're saying is just totally wrong.
It's not.
You've got Paul wrong. I'm listening.
completely-
I'm just thinking. You know what? You're not. Many Christians get Paul wrong.
I'll make some more claims about Paul that might help you.
No, okay.
One,
Let's
he wasn't
just-
a Pharisee.
Okay, let me just.
He wasn't a Pharisee.
You just said.
Okay,
So
that's my
you're
first
making.
thing.
You're making a
Second
point.
thing, he was born a Gentile.
Let me just.
That's my second thing.
Let me respond to this point. Let me
Alright.
just respond to this point. You're making a point
Yeah.
that Paul taught that Jews
Are no longer just under the law.
did not
Yeah.
have to circumcise.
Didn't have to keep the law.
So they didn't have to circumcise.
There's no point in it. Yeah.
You sure? Okay, read Romans 3:1.
What advantage?
It's just a
What
contradiction.
advantage then has the Jew, or what is it the profit of circumcision?
Purpose of circumcision.
Yeah. What is the profit?
What
of
advantage is
circumcision?
there for the Jew? What purpose is there for circumcision? Listen, now according to him, nothing. Listen to what he says.
Much in every way.
Much in every way.
Chiefly because to them were committed the all cause of God. For what is it that some did not believe? Will their unbelief make them
Okay, no worries.
faithless?
Read the same chapter
Yeah.
from verse 30. 30 and 31.
Since there is one God who will justify the circumcised by faith and the
Listen to this.
uncircumcised through faith, do we then make the void of the law
Do we make void of the law? Listen to what he says.
through faith? Certainly not.
Certainly
Exclamation
not. We don't make the law void. Go on, carry on.
mark. On the contrary, we establish the law.
On the contrary, by this faith in Jesus Christ, we establish the law. So it's not making this claim that many Muslims as well, and I think even Christians, to be fair to you guys, have this misconception that Paul said the law's done away with. It's a false.
It does say
claim.
in Galatians that if circumcision can save you, then Christ is of no avail or no
Of course,
advantage.
because-
that seems to be the opposite.
No, it's not.
Because he uses the word advantage in a different sense.
Okay, so listen
in
to
Romans chapter
So
3,
this is
verse
what I'm
1.
saying. This is where context matters. The letter to the Galatians are to Gentiles who were trying to become
Who were
circumcised,
attracted to Judaism.
who were taught by circumcising that they could obtain
There
salvation.
were apostles before Paul, and they were complaining that Paul never met Jesus. And then Paul,
Where are you getting this from?
from Galatians itself.
Say that again. What's your point?
In Galatians chapter 1, the subtext is that they were complaining that you never met Jesus. But
Who
they
was
were,
complaining?
that you didn't, the missionaries that were preaching a different gospel to the one that Paul had left us. So the Christian missionaries were saying, the Jewish Christian missionaries were saying
Jewish
that
Christian
Paul never met
Where are you getting this from?
Jesus.
Where are you getting this from?
From Galatians chapter 1, Galatians chapter 1, where Paul says
Well, have a couple. You can tell me all
I
about
was
it.
the gospel that I preach wasn't given to me by any
By
man,
revelation, yes.
nor was it taught to me by any
Yeah.
apostle before me, but
Yeah.
I received it as a revelation.
But then what he says,
So the subtext is
he
that
went to Arabia.
there were people that,
he went to Arabia, came back, and even he said he went to the church in Jerusalem,
Yeah.
to who were apostles who were before me.
he
And
met
he
none
says,
of them
and he
apart
uses
from
a word, a
Gentiles.
Greek word called hysteresis. He said he went there to do history with them, to make sure that what he was preaching and what they were preaching, they were on the same page. And he goes on, they said they gave him the right hand of fellowship to say that, listen, Jews and Gentiles,
So then why did James send some emissaries
Sam, sorry,
to
no mics, mate.
spy on
My
Paul?
conversation, mate.
Yeah, it's probably better if you guys continue.
no, carry on,
I don't need to
because I know you know
take
a lot of
over.
scriptures, and I want to have this conversation
Yeah,
with you.
maybe we can do a second part.
We're going to have to help him out. You're going
myself.
to need to help him out, seriously.
Sam, we're not taking anyone's mics today, so it's not personal. It doesn't matter.
Okay, so my claim is that they didn't disagree. Paul preached one thing to the Jews and one thing to the Gentiles, which goes along with Acts chapter 15 in the Council of Jerusalem.
No, Council of Jerusalem's got nothing to do with this.
It has everything to do with it. It does. that is the context.
Why did Paul take the Nazarite vow?
Why? To prove that those things that were said about him were wrong.
Okay. So he's obedient to the law.
Yes, of course. If you read Acts chapter 18:18, read Acts 18:18.
It says he kept a Nazarite vow.
Yes.
To prove.
What verse is it where Paul says he's not obedient to the law? I become as a Jew to those under the law.
1
First
Corinthians 9 verse 20.
So Paul's still a bit.
Okay, so look, this is before the Council of Jerusalem. No, after the Council of Jerusalem. Before that he was not summoned. Before Acts 20:21.
First Corinthians what?
You're gone.
Chapter 9 verse 20.
Okay, so read Acts 18:18.
Okay. Though I am free and belong to no one, I have made myself a slave to everyone to win as
what
many.
verse? What verse?
This is Corinthians. First Corinthians 9, chapter 18. Okay. Though I am free and belong to no one, I have made myself a slave to everyone to win as many as possible. To the Jews I become like a Jew to win the Jews. To those under the law I become like one under the law, though I myself am not under the law, so as to win those under the law. So Paul is saying I'm not under the law.
Okay, so you've
You
got
can
Paul.
compare that
You've
Acts
got Paul wrong.
21 verse 24. You know about
Which one?
Acts chapter 21. You know when they challenge Paul to say that you yourself live under the law. So you know when Paul makes his visit to
Oh,
Jerusalem.
show me.
No,
I know.
You know
yeah,
that one.
21 what?
Chapter
You
21
read
verse
this wrong.
24.
24. I read it wrong. Okay.
Yeah.
Which translation is that? King James.
Yeah, New King James. Yeah.
No, you know about the Nazarite vow. Yeah, I get that.
So this contradicts
To show you.
that you live
So, no. So what he's saying is, Paul was obedient to the law.
Yeah,
He was
yeah.
never not obedient to the law.
Yes.
And he was only doing the Nazarite vow to convince these people,
Yeah,
and that he wasn't saying it. But what I've just read shows that he wasn't obedient to
Okay,
the
so
law.
what's your scripture to go against that he wasn't obedient to the law?
1 Corinthians chapter 9 verse 20. The one that he was reading.
20, okay. So listen to what it says. And to the Jews I became as Jews, that I might win the Jews. To those who are under the law, as under the law, that I might win those who are under the law. Okay. To those who are without law, as without law, not being without law towards God, but under law towards Christ. Where are you getting
It's
this?
because of your Bible, that's all.
This is New King James.
Okay, this is NIV.
Okay, so NIV, the nearly inspired version. There's so many things in NIV that we don't agree with. It's mistranslation.
Yeah, well, there's things in the KJV that this doesn't.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, okay, so let's
I'll leave that
go
to
to let's go to a
verses
Greek
I don't have.
interlinear and let's
yeah.
see who's got the right translation, because this is not saying what that's saying or what you're assuming that it's saying.
Okay, so the problem is I can't solve that problem.
Okay, we can go to an interlinear.
I know your book contains a fabrication.
Listen, let's not go. Let's keep to the subject. You're saying Paul preached something different to the disciples, and I'm saying you're totally wrong.
1 Corinthians chapter 9 verse 20 is a good example.
9:20.
Because it says those
You've not
who
proved
are
it.
under the law, he lives as if he's under the law,
yeah.
even though he doesn't regard himself as being one under the law.
Well, listen to what it says.
So the part when he says
To those who are without, listen, to those who are without law, as without law, not being without law towards God, but under law towards Christ. What can you not understand from that? He's not saying I'm living a lawless life.
quoting partly, I would say, to those who are under the law, are become as one under
what's
the law.
this?
ESV.
Just do New King James if you want.
Well, why do we? Your book contains
Okay, so
fabrication.
let's do an
Though
interlinear.
not
Let's do an
being
interlinear.
myself,
Greek and
though
English,
not
so we can
myself
know that
under
there's
the
no.
law.
Say that again.
So though not being myself under the law.
But this is not what this is saying.
I know it's not.
Okay, so what I'm saying is, not all translations are infallible. Yeah, we accept
So
that.
you could be wrong.
Well, okay, let's do an interlinear.
Let me
Let's
highlight.
do an interlinear.
And the thing is, the other verse in Galatians kind of backs it up because
Galatians doesn't back it up.
I believe it is.
doesn't.
He's telling Jews they're no longer under the law. He's
are wrong.
teaching the thing that
Okay,
he's
so
doing.
listen, what's the context of Galatians?
Oh, okay, the Galatians.
Okay,
is,
so let's
okay.
take it back. Let's
the
do
context
this.
of Galatians.
It's from
in Galatia you had
Acts chapter 15.
In Galatia you have Gentiles who become Christians, and you've had Jews who become Christians. And the Gentile Christians are being told that they need to circumcise and follow the Mosaic laws to be able to be a Christian. Okay. And Galatians is saying, it's not actually saying to the Gentiles, you don't have to follow the law. It's basically saying to the Jews who are making this claim that no, that with faith in the Christ is enough now. That's what it's saying.
It's saying you're totally wrong. You've totally got it wrong. One,
I agree with you. The translation does make a big difference.
yeah, of course, yeah.
The King James sounds different.
And if you want,
how it reads in
do an interlinear with a Greek, and you'll see that this translates it better than that. But anyway,
these modern translations are not a
Has been proven
conspiracy.
to contain forgery.
let's not.
Why actually? No. But
We can talk about whether this is reliable,
The problem is,
but we're talking.
trying to
You're
say-
making the claim.
You're trying to say that your empirically proven corrupt book is more reliable than this. That's all you're saying.
So this
And
is
I
where your
dis- and I
argument fails.
disagree.
You were
King James.
no,
is based
listen.
on
You were
imperial
using
manuscript.
this quote unquote corrupt book.
Why does it fail?
No, because you're using this quote unquote corrupt book to try and say Paul goes against his disciples of Jesus. And I'm saying you're totally wrong.
No. I'm using a book that's not corrupt, according to you.
Of course.
Sorry. We have two Bibles here. One's been empirically proven as corrupt.
NIV, yeah.
ESV.
Is okay, but you're using NIV,
No, ESV.
and I'm saying an NIV is a very poor
ESV.
translation
ESV.
of the Greek.
ESV.
I'm not familiar with the ESV.
All right. So in the ESV it says the same thing.
Even, you know, I'll be fair, even the New King James doesn't translate everything right.
Right. But your book has been
So what-
proven to contain forgery. So I'm saying to you.
That's not the argument. That's not.
No, but
that's not the context of the debate, is it?
No. But what happens is the premise to the debate is that your book is more authoritative than mine. Yet yours has been proven to be
This
false.
is a translation.
I know it is.
And I'm
but
not
the
saying
point
this is
is
an-
this.
I'm not even saying this is an
We've got a
infallible
point
translation.
of contention between two Bibles, right? We've got a point of contention between two Bibles.
Two translations.
Two translations of the Bible. One that's been known to be corrupt and can be proven to be corrupt, and the other one that
Okay. So what do we do?
hasn't.
What do we do when there's ambiguity in translations? We go to the Greek. And I'm saying we can do an interlinear and see which one translates it right. What's the scripture, man? 9:20, but it doesn't prove his point. Okay, so have you got something else substantial to prove that Paul taught something other than what his disciples taught?
Okay.
Naz, have you got anything?
Yeah, the example that of 1 Corinthians chapter 9.
But it doesn't say that. Okay, do you accept it doesn't say that in the New King James?
Even Ephesians chapter 2, verse number 14 and 15, and also verse 8 of chapter 2 of Ephesians, Paul speaks about we're justified by faith apart from
Totally.
works of the law. But this contradicts the letter of James, which is traditionally attributed to the brother of Jesus.
Paul does
He
not
was an
contradict.
apostle.
Paul does not contradict. James
James
whatsoever.
says we're
It's all
justified by works
okay.
and not by faith alone.
No
But
problem. No
Ephesians
problem.
2,
Okay, do you want to deal with James and Paul now?
if you want to
I'll
know,
tell you
that's
what we'll
easy.
do.
That's so
I'll
easy
tell you what
to
we'll do.
debunk.
I'll tell you what we will do.
So easy to
I'll tell
debunk.
you what we will do.
Okay,
Yeah, I've got into the linear now.
What we'll do,
Yeah.
we'll end this now. You're here every week, yeah?
Most weeks.
Right. I'm back on the 23rd of October. I'll come back and have a debate with you on this
About
issue.
yeah, no problem.
All right?
Yeah, that's fair
Because
enough.
rather than us using, trying to find the references, yeah, come prepared. And I'll come prepared. All right? Because I rated the way that you dealt with those Christian hecklers today. Well, actually, Muslim heckler. But I rated it. You stepped up. You know you could have messed up the conversation. But you could see I was losing it as well. And you stepped in. So I respect that. So thank you.
bless you, bro.
And I think personally, we're both trying to quote references that we're not accepting each other's references, right? Therefore, we both need to do research and bring references to what we're saying to support it. All right. So my claim is Paul didn't believe he was under the law anymore, wasn't obedient to the law, and was teaching Jews. He said, "That's can I just respond? No. I'm telling you my claim, and you're going to respond to that. Yeah."
And I'm saying you've got Paul wrong. Paul was preaching that you cannot be justified by the law, but he didn't preach that you
And I'll tell you what I'll throw in for kicks. I'll demonstrate Paul was born a Gentile, right? And I'll demonstrate that Paul was not a Pharisee as well, just for kicks.
Where is this? Some conspiracy theory kind of website you've been reading.
Well, one man's conspiracy theory is other man's historical research.
Well, that'd be interesting. Anyway, nice talking to you.
Trust me, the arguments I'm coming with Paul, that's my plan is to write a book about Paul.
Okay.
There's a reason for it.
Hopefully, maybe this is why you come to meet me. Maybe that maybe shouldn't be published.
Or
I think not only you, not only Muslims, Christians as well, have misunderstood.
no, I'll say it again to you. My conversation with you in 1 month's time, 23rd of October, I'll be that, yeah, will steelman my position. Yeah? But I know that because your arguments are potentially good. Yeah, I'm going to say it, very twisty. Yeah, but they're a fair argument. Yeah, which for me demonstrates sincerity.
And that's exactly the reason why I'm asking that
Yeah,
question.
you don't like the other guy, Chris, nice guy, but he not even looked at it. Yeah, I've been waiting for somebody who could defend this position. I've been shouting it from the rooftops for a while now. And I've waited for someone to come with a solid response.
That's why I thought that last debate that you had on Toko, you didn't really. There was no edification from it. There was no conclusion. And that's why.
Wait till you see the video.
Fair enough.
Because the video is going to be proper. I mean, that video is going to come out. So it's going to be the EastEnder effects, right? But it's also going to have the Towie effect. So the Towie effect is you'll see the fire, the arguing, and then it'll cut to the studio, and I'll give like a 30-second explanation of what's just been
What
said.
channel was it?
It's all mine. Hamza's dead. There's only one channel.
No, I have actually seen it. I've got the name of it.
It'll be on there, because we did that a month ago. We only just released one of the videos. No, you know the one with that one? Actually, no, it wasn't that. It was a different one with Amy. But what I'm saying is this. I mean, this particular video will probably take a few weeks to come out. Yeah, because we do it properly. So, and that's why I stopped the mics. I'm going to speak to our brother as well, just to say to him, look, it's not an offensive. Don't be offended by it. It's just that we have a quality that we like. Yeah, we have a brand that we're trying to protect. And when people see something is good, yeah, what we don't want is it to become cannon fodder that just gets put up just because. Do you get me? And no one really cares about the content as such because it's just the next one comes and the next one comes and the next one comes.
I think it's good if you can evaluate it as well. Because it then...
And there's so much to learn from them because I'm breaking them down, right? Now the thing is, Muslims can't help themselves. If they see it tonight, they'll watch it tonight. And I'm trying to protect them from the idea of, you know, there's a brand new movie coming out of the cinema, and then someone gives you a pirate DVD, and you watch it, and it's all kind of sketchy and that. And, you know what I mean? And you know you want to watch it on the big screen, but you can't wait, so you watch it, and then you've ruined the whole experience. Because then you watch it on the big screen, you know, the storyline and everything.
To be honest, I'm not friends with most of the Muslim channels there anyway. So
I know. So that's what I'm trying to do with my channel. I come here once a month. I want to produce quality content. I don't want it to be undermined by sketchy content with bits of conversation. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And the thing is, we before in the past with the EF Tower, we give permission to channels to film. We took their mics, but 10 minutes. Just put 10 minutes on your channel, get the people to have a taste, you get the hits, yeah, job done. Yeah. But they can't be trusted to keep 10 minutes. You see like 40 minutes. What happened? And then we're like messaging them, what are you doing? And then it's like, you know what, I can't be asked. No more mics, no more nothing. And then they start putting mics on guests. Putting mics on like him, and then tell him to come stand next to me. So the mic.
I'm sorry about that. I didn't know.
Yeah, don't worry.
It's my first
don't
day.
worry.
It's disingenuous.
No, it's a new thing. People think, oh, you just want the money from it. No, I want people to learn from what I'm doing.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, and if someone's watched the video, and then my video comes up with all the knowledge in it, oh, I've seen this one. They miss the whole point of the conversation. Do you know what I mean? And most of my stuff is really, it's not this drama that they're looking for anyway. There's so much drama here. It could be film, whatever. I'm here to teach, and I'm here to learn. You know my motto of the Speaker's Corner? I never lose. I win or I learn.
Definitely, yeah.
Standard.
Bless you, bro.
And yourself, my brother. Will.
Israelites will return to take down Islam.